first 80-minute episode that isn't action-oriented, it played out pretty much how I thought it would. You know, it was like 30 minutes of, like, not necessarily fluff, but just over beating the drum. Let's go over the high points first, and then we can bash the shit out of the rest of it.
So I'll say this. I think that it's clear that their goal is to catch you off guard with stuff. It's not so much like they're trying to work towards a big thing that they've been building towards, like Jon Snow or Daenerys being the big savior that kills the Night King and saves humanity. That was what you thought was happening, and they went with something else that catches you off guard. Even if it makes no sense, they just want to do something that catches you off guard. I don't think it's a good thing, but I think that we can see the pattern. So I would say that as far as good stuff this week, I thought that the first almost hour of it was the better part of it. They started kind of settling things that need to be settled. What's going to happen with Gendry? You see Daenerys start to get a little bit jealous because she sees that people don't really love her like the queen. They've never seen her do anything awesome that they haven't seen Jon do. So it's, of course they love Jon. Jon's a northerner. He rose up from being a bastard to where he is right now. They don't recognize her story and they don't give a shit about it. So it's like, of course she's going to get a little bit jealous of that when she sees that they all love Jon.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that she's like systematically getting rid of everybody that means something to her. And I'll get into that more in a little bit. But like, you see how many people she's lost. The Unsullied, they all love and respect her. They would throw down their lives for her in a second. The Dothraki are the same thing. They're like 95% gone.
I think they're all gone.
Half. They said half.
They said half. They lied.
That's
So that's
Whoever said half
like,
didn't
how
watch.
could it be half?
Whoever said half didn't watch.
Well, no, but
they said it in the show. They said how many
That's what I
do we
mean.
have left?
Whoever
It's
said
like,
half didn't watch the battle.
And then she said, in my Dothraki, there was 4 left.
Yeah, there was like a handful of them that came walking
so,
back in.
So that's,
And I'll say this too, after I shit on the episode 3 so much last week because I hated it, seeing it when you saw people do effects on it online so you could actually see it, it looked a lot cooler.
It did.
But it exposed everything bad about it even more. So you saw how many of the dead were coming in waves. It was like World War Z. There was so many of them coming in. There is no logical explanation for how any person on the front lines would have survived that. That includes Grey Worm, Jaime, Brienne, Tormund. Anyone on the front lines should not be with us in the show anymore. They are because they have the plot armor. But
this is good points?
No, I kind of told off.
Sorry.
But like we talk a lot about Lord of the Rings, like that's almost exactly like what they mimicked was like the Army of the Dead. Like they kind of came in like at that.
But the Army of the Dead was good guys for them.
Yeah.
Everyone used them for his side.
Yeah.
You know, and I was actually afraid that they would do something stupid like that, where like Jon would somehow call on the ancients of the friggin' Stark family to rise out of their crypts and defend them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad it wasn't a bunch of ghosts, because that would have pissed me off really, even worse than what they did. No, I thought the first like almost hour of the show was the better part, where they settled everything. You see that Jaime is basically playing house with Brienne, and yeah, he's not built for that. He doesn't want to play house with anybody. He's kind of like spent his life becoming a better person. He doesn't just want to sit around and play house and bang the big woman.
Yep.
So he's ready to move on from that. And once he finds out what was happening, he had to like basically be mean to her.
It's such a different take on that.
To cut her off and tell her, see you later, so she'd accept it and let him leave so that he could go and do what he wants to do. My theory, he's going to kill Cersei. Because he says she's a hateful person. He's kind of recognizing she's always been a piece of shit, and if anything, she's made him a worse person for it because he loved her, and as a result, it's like now he's recognized that, and now he needs to go kill her.
Why? I don't want to get into debate about that.
The way that they're like portraying it is that it's like he recognizes Cersei as his drug.
I didn't take it that way at all.
That's almost.
But
like
why lie to Brienne if you're gonna go? Why can't he just be like, hey, this is a family thing. Like I need to go deal with this. Not like, hey, I'm gonna go like be a turncloak again.
No, I think if he said he's going to kill Cersei because he's already the Kingslayer. Now
he doesn't have to say I'm gonna go kill Cersei. He's like, I need to go deal with my family. This is my sister.
I don't think she would have bought it. He had to basically be mean. He had to be mean.
He can do whatever the hell he wants.
It's the thing. He had to be cruel to be kind. He had to basically tell her, I'm all set. I'm not this nice guy that you think I am. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And see you later. So then he hits the road and she accepts it. She cries, but she accepts it.
I really hope that you're right, because it's fucking stupid. Because if he turns again and he tries to help her, then it's just like
that would make zero sense.
His whole story arc is wasted.
Agreed.
But yeah.
Full disclosure for anybody watching, I literally amp myself up every week to try and defend the show because I know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, well, I have my good point.
I come in doing my best to try and defend it,
Just
and I'm like,
point.
please give me something to work with.
Yeah.
They're not giving
And then
you
they
much.
don't, and it's like I have to almost use like a straw man argument to why the show's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like this show, they've done such good work before now, when they actually had the books to base everything on, that it's still good, and there's not like way better shit on TV to watch. So it's like, I want this, and I'm rooting for it to be good. And then it's not, but it's like,
Yeah.
I still want it to end good. And, we can get into where we think it's going later.
Yeah.
But
So my one positive from the episode was when Gendry. So, but it's riddled with bad. But the event of Gendry getting Storm's End and becoming like a legit
I called that, by
Baratheon,
the way. I
yeah.
think the first week that we did it.
So that was great. Like Gendry, he learned his trade growing up. He's a tradesman, and his hard work paid off. Now he gets the best castle in Westeros, in my opinion, and now he can have a harem.
It might be the coolest.
I think it's the best.
It might be the coolest.
The coolest story behind it.
Yeah.
The coolest design, I think. But he has the Stormlands, and I mean he got his cherry pop. He's a little bit pussy in the pussy clouds with Arya. But once he gets over that, he's like, I'm a Storm Lord. I can do whatever I want in this keep. And him and Pod should invite Pod over. They can have a spin-off show like The Odd Couple.
For sure.
And Pod can pull in the puss, and Gendry can be the wingman, and they can have a harem of chicks there all the time.
To be fair,
It'd be like Logan Paul's house.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not so bad for him to be a little bit whipped, because without question, that's the first virgin he was with.
Right. Well,
In fact, the first non-prostitute he was with, if we're being real about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's a handsome guy, pretty chiseled.
There's way more.
But like, girls
out
ain't
there.
giving it up for free in King's Landing to some scumbags.
My favorite moment of the week was definitely the scene with Arya and the Hound. Her being so laser focused doesn't really make sense to me. As an 18-year-old that they're trying to, portray her as in the show, that she doesn't have any weakness left. There's no like, oh, maybe I should stay with Gendry. Maybe it's like there's none of that. There's just
She's just total sociopath.
All right, so let me.
And she doesn't wake up with like night terrors of like the traumatic shit that she's dealt with, or she doesn't have like emotional issues where she probably.
Yeah.
Well, I
Just
don't
all
expect that a serial killer would wake up with those nightmares.
Right,
either.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what she is. She's a
Yeah,
monster.
yeah, she's a
You're not supposed
sociopath.
to be rooting for her, but you
Right.
root for Dexter. So here's what I would say when it comes to Arya. She's clearly gone kind of crazy. If you want to say, like, it's not normal for you to see your dad beheaded when you're a little girl.
Right.
And then forced to go into a life of hiding and then become an assassin. And like everything she's done would be traumatic. And it
Right.
would make sense that she would have no empathy for anybody and that she's this cold-blooded person now. So that to me makes total sense. That she would be that way and that she doesn't wake up with night terrors or anything like that. And I think as far as her not having a weakness, she does have a weakness, and it's the fact that she is so single-minded that she's blinded to anything else. She's blinded to the fact that she could have a good, normal life outside of this, and she's not going to get it. Because she's so driven with her focus that she wants to kill the queen, she wants to kill the mountain, she wants to kill all these people. She's going to die somehow. She might get one of them, she might get Cersei. And
If
then
she
get
kills
chopped in half.
Cersei,
I'll be so mad.
I will take
I'll be
I will take all my Game of Thrones memorabilia, not the song Rise of Fire. I will take all my stupid little Dragon Bro collectors, my pop toys, and I will burn them with my antlered helmet on in a golden speedo. And I'll let Breaking Balls film that.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, now
So
you're verbal committed on
Yep,
film.
That's right. Now it's real.
Anyway,
So, the thing that I thought was really good in the episode, I thought the Daenerys.
wait, you're still going on good stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the good stuff.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
some
all
stuff
right.
worked. I thought that you have work to do. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I thought that Daenerys, when she stepped up and said Gendry, obviously they want us to think, oh no, she's gonna execute
Artificial
him.
conflict,
It's
man.
queer, right?
Did you? But that's what the showrunners
all they do.
thought. Like, do they think they were fucking idiots? They think that like, people are like, oh my god, she's gonna kill.
Oh, she's gonna kill
Gendry.
Oh,
when she let Jamie, when she let Jamie
She's not
go.
gonna kill Gendry. She gave him a prize instead.
Right. So she faked that up, but and I was gonna say like if she kills him, which I like thought for maybe 1 second, and I'm like no way, but she lets Jamie, who killed her father, have like a 5-minute trial, and then pardons him.
I feel like the battle at Winterfell was like retribution for a lot of people. So it's like even if you thought Gendry's dad was a bad guy, as far as she knows, Gendry's never done anything bad.
But Daenerys talked about killing.
He ran back-to-back marathons to get back,
but
so that he could save everybody's lives. Humanity would be gone if it wasn't for Gendry. So you can see all sins of your dad that you had nothing to do with.
Which is cool.
Forgiven.
Yeah, and that should have been not even a.
It should have been a small.
It should have not even been a thing. But anyway.
Let me tell you why I thought it was awesome though. She did that
to help
like
as a move.
As a spectacle that look at how powerful.
But she's building up allies.
I am, and how great this is. And they went right back to everybody kissing Jon Snow's ass. Yep. So it didn't work. And she looked all deflated and bummed out about it because she thought this was going to be like this power move, and it wasn't. She's like, you know why? Because I made it happen. Right. And they're like, sweet. We're going back to our drinking game over here. And that was the end of it. And she's like kind of deflated. And I thought that worked.
But she has the allegiance of Storm's End anyway.
But you see that she's reaching for approval from everybody, and she's not getting it.
But regardless of getting approval, she still has now the allegiance of the Stormlands.
So they wouldn't be allegiant to Jon Snow?
Well, no.
If he becomes king?
Yeah, he would be, but I'm saying she gave him the title. I think he would feel obligated.
But he would be obligated to Jon just the same. If he had to pick between Jon and her, I think he'd have a tough time picking her, even though she was the one to say that. I don't think it would matter, because Jon would be like, yeah, I recognize you as the Stormlands guy too.
What did Jon, I don't know, what has he done?
I don't think Jon's going to become king because he doesn't fucking want it.
He's a moron.
He's the most unlikely of kings.
Yes.
But that's what makes it the thing that will make him be the king.
Yeah, he could be unlikely, but still, he could be unlikely like he doesn't want it, but he should still do kingly things. He's done nothing but like blunder and spill his like secrets and trust people.
That was
and
dumb.
Just be stupid.
And that was like obviously for the show.
But all right, so can I
want to promote some drama?
Right, but so with Gendry, just look up online what a bastard from the Crownlands is called. If you're even gonna do that, take the 30 seconds and Google it. I did because I want to make sure it wasn't Rivers because I knew it wasn't Rivers, but I want to make sure I knew the name of a bastard from the Crownlands is Waters.
And just as a quick refresher, Jon Snow is Jon Snow
because he's Winterfell.
From the north. Yeah. Same thing as Ramsay Snow.
Sand from Dorne. Yeah.
Right. So you have all the Sand Snakes because they're like all their last name is Sand.
Yeah. Usually they give like people of like high name. They'll give them a last name. People usually don't have last names that are poor. They're from Flea Bottom. They just have the first name.
Because I really wanted it to be like they didn't.
You wanted it to be Rivers.
I wanted them to have not messed up that badly.
Yeah.
The only excuse for Gendry not being Gendry Waters is if his dad didn't recognize him as being his, he wouldn't even get that. Apparently, is the answer online. But no matter what, in no case would it have been Rivers.
Right. So look it up.
That's what's dumb. So it sucks when you see,
it's just lazy, man.
Check things that they could have done correctly.
The show writers were lazy.
It's a dumb thing, just like it was a really dumb thing with the Starbucks cup. Everyone gives such a shit about a Starbucks cup being on the table. Who really cares? Like, why was that ever a viral thing?
It's kind of funny.
Well, it's funny to me that they took 2 years to produce the 6-episode season and just pass it off like it's this grandiose thing. Spent $15 million plus an episode. I don't get paid shit as an editor, as somebody that edits like all this content, all the stuff for Breaking Balls.
You do a good job, by the way.
I would have caught that shit in a New York second.
I think it was karma from making X-Men Origins Wolverine that David Benioff actually was his cup that he accidentally left on that table, and it was his mistake originally, and they didn't edit, but it was him. Karma. You messed up Wolverine bad. So.
But I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but how many fucking people are on that set? I'm not even talking about it's the chief editor's responsibility because he's the last set of eyes. But how many
Danny was like right there. Looked like. Yeah.
Like it's right there.
Danny looks like she's gonna like
right
reach for
there.
it. Yeah.
I like how we do this with beers and vapes on the table, and we are gonna check their professionality.
Yeah, well, where dudes sitting here in a fucking Swampscott studio.
Well,
we should
have had like a big dildo right here. Be like, oh, how'd that get on? How'd that fucking?
Yeah, like we're at a Bills game. Yeah. To be clear, I know professionality is not the word. I was being.
You know, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Ironic. Professionalism is the actual word. Anyways, so I guess going through the episode, the things that happened that I kind of took note of. It made zero sense for Daenerys to not listen to anybody and say, I'm going to march on King's Landing immediately. Jon Snow, you meet me there. I'm going to take the fleet that I have with whatever I have left for people here. I'm going to head down there. Presumably, they're sending the rest of the Iron Fleet that Theon's sister has over to Dorne to get them, which means that they're kind of doing like two at the same time.
So they have to go down.
It doesn't make sense on the map.
They have to go past King's Landing. They have to go past Dragonstone to go to Dorne and then go all the way back.
On a map, it makes no sense. So the idea would be that she's going to Dorne, or maybe she's going around the friggin' top of the world somehow, and they're going to freeze to death.
Yeah.
So she's going over there to Dorne, and she's going to get those people, is what I assume. Because otherwise, how are they going to show up next episode? They went the other way, and they went straight to Dragonstone. They're assuming that Jon and company are going to meet them on foot in the winter at King's Landing at the same time that they get
Of course, and that's what's going to happen.
Not possible. That's like a 2-month expedition,
Yeah.
right? So she's doing it in like a day. At no point have they learned to send a scout ahead,
Right.
ever. In all these episodes, when they
No one's learned anything,
they haven't
man.
learned shit, right? And Tyrion, the brilliant general that he is still not sending a scouting party ahead to do some recon. So
Can we talk about Tyrion for a sec?
Sure.
Well, okay. He's reverted back to season 1 Tyrion. In
where he's
my
just drinking
mind.
this
He drinks.
ton of
He made another dick joke, by the way, to Varys. And the fact that maybe he had some like confidence in a can when he went up to Cersei, but we can talk about that later. But it's
like he's at a crisis of confidence.
He's been told. Everyone's telling everybody. Everyone says that he is a smart guy. And he's a smart dude. He hasn't proven that since the Battle of the Blackwater, and it just shows like he failed again to talk to Qyburn, and he failed again to talk to Cersei, and he's another fail. It's another failed storyline.
He's supposed to be planning stuff.
Right.
He should be the one telling Daenerys, "Hey, they're right. You should not march ahead. You have a damaged dragon. You should let that thing heal.
Yeah, and
you
all
should
your
let your
troops are
army
dead."
have a couple nights sleep before you march." And she's not doing that, so she's right on the way.
And he should be like, "Hey, look at the map of Westeros. You have to go by King's Landing to get to Dragonstone. Maybe
at least you have to go between them at minimum.
Maybe there might be some people there that's gonna see you, or that's waiting for you because they know you're coming. You know that
it's a train wreck. Like that whole thing is a train wreck. Even if that wasn't the case, even if they didn't do that, you would think, like I've been in an airplane and looked out of the windows, and I would see if there was a fleet, like a full-on armada of enemy ships there with these crazy Gatling gun things that they're now firing off with deadly accuracy.
And you have to
about a mile off.
And you have to
a
watch
mile off on a fucking rickety wooden ship.
No. You have to watch the after show, and they explain that to you after the show.
It's so bad.
They explain it to you that Qyburn made improvements on the Scorpion.
Oh, so that fixes it.
It could have been a one-line, one-off that Euron, what's his name? Euron.
Sure.
Was like when he hits the dragon, he should have been like, "Wow, Qyburn made some good." Like, "Wow, Qyburn fucking really knew what he was doing when he improved these." But he didn't say that.
Qyburn's black magic with these heat-seeking arrows.
Right.
Really working.
So now it's spring-loaded and it has fucking shocks, and they can fucking like.
So that sucks, right?
Everything
also,
sucks.
the fact she didn't see them as a train, that's a disaster.
And you see the angle that they give when they
you
appear.
can see the mountain is in the way.
Yeah, but that's like that's a view from the ground, like, and I almost like fell for it. I'm like, wow, maybe the dragons were flying low, but that's not the view from the dragons. Like they can see clearly over that.
But like,
the
how about this? Like, as far as like learning from past experiences, fucking, she watched fucking Viseron take a fucking ice javelin to the throat. Gendry he's a blacksmith. He crafts things. How about fucking dragon armor?
Right.
How about some sort of thing? Because you know these things aren't fucking invincible.
Or how about
that they can go down, and you know that fucking, Dragon took one to the fucking ribs from fucking Bronn.
Dragon the Dragon?
I'm sorry. I've been listening to a lot of Rough Riders.
Yeah.
God.
So
there's like 30 people that recognize Dragon from the Rough Riders.
I didn't know
happened
that.
to be one of them.
Yeah.
So,
Not me.
So here's the thing that pisses me off, right? Even if you didn't read the Game of Thrones books,
I'm not even going off of that
Even if you
anymore.
didn't.
Yeah.
if you're into the show, there's a decent chance that you're familiar with dragon lore.
Yes.
Right? You know that a dragon's scales are supposed to be like armor.
Yep.
You can't just pierce the thing with whatever. You know what I mean? They're like a tough ass thing to take down. They're tough. That's the whole point to it. That's what makes a dragon so great, and they're intelligent. So the thing should be doing like a little of its own to see, oh, hey, shit, there's some people over there. Like, maybe get out of the way, and they don't do that. But, like...
I don't know what's worse of the disappointment, the Night King or the dragons. The fucking dragons coming back to the fucking world was supposed to be this huge thing, and they're fucking...
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're systematically getting rid of them, like they're trying to cut down on budget. But
Right.
I feel like it's because they want to make the battle with Cersei more of like a level playing field. Like, oh, now we only have one dragon, and they
Artificial
have this magic
suspense.
weapon that'll kill that dragon, so we can't use it.
Right.
So it brings them down to hand and trickery instead.
That's why...
That's why they're doing it, though, and that sucks. That sucks they're doing that.
Sorry, guys. Read the books.
So here's what sucks,
Read the
right?
books. They're better.
You have the dragons. I'm the guy defending the show, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the dragons, one of them gets shot down, and like not only are they so accurate that they blast the thing in the chest on the first shot,
Yeah, the
but
second
then
one
they hit it
falls
in
off,
the
right?
wing,
Yeah, and then through
and
the
then
side
jet
of the
through the
face.
throat. It's like even cops don't shoot for your throat.
No shit.
Cops will shoot you in the chest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hit the thing right in the throat, crashes in, it's dead, it's gone. Daenerys, seeing these things that can swivel.
She's in a fucking plane! She can fucking... Oh, my God.
She can see that they swivel. She charges them.
Straight on.
Head on!
She doesn't even serpentine.
And then, right.
She does. She pulls a Rick on.
And
Runs
then
straight.
at the last second, now that she's a much closer, easier to hit target, she turns and like 30 of those giant, accurate arrows don't hit her.
What are the range on the
And
on
one
the
of them
fire?
goes right by her where she goes.
Yeah. What's
And
the
it's like-
what's the range on the fire breath?
So, according to dragon lore, if they just get high enough, they can kind of use gravity and let the fire drop down and hit the people.
Oh, all right.
So they could do that, and she could just bring her dragon really high. What
I thought heat rises.
Heat rises, but not fire that's being
Like
forced down.
napalm type shit.
I think. So the idea being, though, the dragon fire, once she doesn't get hit miraculously by any of these billion
have to
arrows
load.
being fired at her,
Do you think they load as fast as bronze fucking crossbow? They load that shit pretty
much
fast.
faster, much
Alright.
faster. So when she flies around, though, you can see that those things can't swivel around because they'd have to shoot through their own sails.
Yeah.
So they're not designed to do that. So why does she abandon her fleet, let them all get destroyed with all the people in it?
Yeah.
Her bestie gets captured. Obviously, the one person getting captured, by the way, is her best friend. Instead of circling around the side
that's just
and
another
coming
fucking
around their
can of
backside
worms,
and torching
man.
the whole fleet and killing Euron and everybody else, she doesn't do that. She flees and lets them all die, which is the biggest act of cowardice that you've seen out of any leader of the show at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
And then-
really, aside from Theon jumping
Yeah.
off the boat, this was like the most cowardly act that you could see. And I think that it destroys the character, where it makes Daenerys suck now that she would do that, and now she needs some redeeming act to make up for it.
Yeah. But like Miss Sandy is like another secondary character that they force you to give a shit about.
But-
almost similar to like how the episode started.
Wait, before-
how like they went and they showed all the people that died.
Yeah.
And like they tried to make it way weightier and crunchier. You know that the battle. You know all these people that died like really mattered. They showed Arya in Beric. Like fucking, they have that deep of a fucking past. Like now she's sitting there contemplating life because he fucking died.
Before
the cutthroat assassin, fucking now she gives a shit about him.
Right.
You know, it seems like all these forced moments, like where they're trying to get you to give a shit.
She was on the same boat as Grey Worm, right?
Yeah.
So it gets, I don't know, it cuts away and they pull the cliche like, oh, it's a wash up on the shore.
Yeah.
We're saved. And then somehow Missandei is miraculously like teleported out of that situation.
He didn't see her when he was fucking swimming back.
It
to
happened
shore.
so fast that I thought Missandei was like, I didn't see the chains at first. I had to rewind it. I thought she was like I thought she was a spy for Euron and Cersei because I'm like, oh, she's safe. She's safe Karth. I mean, yeah, she's safe in King's Landing.
Her hair was perfect.
She's safe there. I'm like, oh, she's worried. Wow, this is a crazy twist. No, she's got the cuffs on.
Not only did she fall in the water and get captured by them, but hair and makeup came in to touch her up first before she got on screen. So yeah, that was pretty dumb. That whole thing was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Of course, none of them died in this. Tyrion didn't die in this. A dwarf in armor jumping in the ocean because they're great swimmers.
Yeah.
He manages to and gets smashed with the mast of the whole ship.
And he made it to shore before
makes it to
fucking
shore.
Grey Worm.
Yeah.
He's like, what is the legs?
That makes no sense. So I mean, I think that encapsulates everything that was really, really stupid. Almost until you get to the end. When they show up at this place that's clearly not the Red Keep, it's clearly not King's Landing, but they tell you it is, so you're supposed to believe it. When Daenerys approached Karth, it's the same exact set and castle as where she approaches now to see Cersei and company at King's Landing, but it's clearly not King's Landing.
Well, hey, they spent the whole budget on the Starbucks.
They approach with like 50 people, and Cersei doesn't just kill them all because she's so honorable now that she respects a parlay. Get the fuck out.
No shit.
Do you think if you watch the episode now, they CGI'd the cup out?
Yeah, they have. They have.
Fuck! Why didn't Cersei kill the Valonqar that she thinks is the Valonqar?
Right, why wouldn't she just kill Tyrion if she thinks he's the bad guy? But apparently the answer is she's so respectful of a parlay now that she would never do that.
But she basically blew up the Vatican. Yeah.
She wasn't there to parlay.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
Parlay's the one weakness. You
Now
just keep saying.
that she bangs a pirate, parlay is a big deal because pirates love parlay.
Yeah, they love parlay.
That's their thing.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense.
It's so dumb.
It sounds exactly like 90% of the Dragon Bros that are they defend everything. You know what I mean? Of course, like if you love something enough, you can defend it to your fucking death.
Yeah.
But there's no defense. Like all of these people's actions, all of these character storylines, they just keep going in a fucking circle.
No, I had
Yeah.
Dragon Bro hate. This is a new thing that happened to me. So they've gotten so woke to how shitty this show's become that they actually have reverted now to wait a minute, you, JB, you explain why it's bad. Now I see through your lenses. You made the show bad for me. Fuck you. Yeah, and that's what. So I had to
Here's how bad the show's been. If you needed anything, right? The show was so great. It was my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
For the first 4 or 5 seasons, maybe. Now it's gotten so bad that people online, if you read fan community message boards and stuff, people now think Cersei's awesome. That's how bad it is.
Well, she's more badass than the Night King.
They made the worst person on the show, Cersei, into the ultimate badass, the best strategist, the best military planner, the best schemer. She's the smartest. Yeah. She's the best everything. And apparently, it's only her and Tyrion can read because they're the smartest people alive, and everybody else is a moron. Yeah. That's pretty much the show now. So that's kind of what that is.
She deserves to win.
All right, we have our resident gambling guru, Bubba Targaryen, back in the house.
Yes, Lord Varys Hilton.
Yes.
Of the Suffolk Downs Armada. How we doing, folks? Big week this week. Big week, boys. All right, let's get right into it. Enough grabbing dicks. So let's get some death matchups this week. Mono and Monolette. Death matchups. First one, Jon Snow versus Wheelie Bran Stark. Who is going to die?
Jesus.
Jon Snow, Bran Stark.
Tough bets this week.
Yeah, that's a tough one, actually.
Oh, you go.
It is a much closer line,
I've been saying for a while, I think Bran, once he's no longer useful, will die in some weird way. And maybe he'll be in his dream world while he gets killed and he'll evaporate like the previous dude did.
I have to go now.
I'm going with Bran. Yeah.
I'll be right back. If it's the choice of the two, Bran.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're giving out all the fan service, so there's no way that they kill off Snow at this point. It's definitely Bran.
We're kind of being pussies about it with going with the easy bets.
No, actually, you guys are going against it. Vegas is saying Jon Snow is going to die.
Yeah.
Bran Stark is going to live.
Huh.
So Bran Stark is plus 100 as the underdog. Jon Snow is minus 140. He's the favorite to die.
Wow.
Go figure. Little birds, go right to Suffolk Downs, play your numbers, keep it going. Back to the two, main bitches of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Cersei Lannister and Daenerys Targaryen. Who will die out of those two broads, Daenerys or Cersei?
Who will die first, or who will die in general?
At this point, we got 2 episodes left. Who will die first? First, because I would imagine how it's worded.
If I had to pick between the two, I'm going to say Cersei because I think she definitely dies. But I think that they both die.
Yeah.
But if I had to bet, I'd say Cersei goes first.
Okay. One is in. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Cersei.
Cersei's in.
I'm gonna say Cersei too because actually I'm gonna say Dany goes first because I think they want to save something for the end. I think that quite possibly maybe Dany will die next week, and then Cersei dies in episode 6.
Jeez, you're going off the rails.
Well, Cersei is the favorite. She's minus 350, so she is the favorite. Daenerys is the underdog at plus 225. $100 bet wins you $225. Cersei, you have to bet $350 to make $100. That's goddamn ridiculous. Who would do that? Let's lighten the mood. How about a little game of love? Rock the cradle of love. Right. Now let's see.
That's about underage girls too, right?
Right. Oh, my favorite. Yeah. Rebecca De Portnay. Oh, who was the one in the Rebecca De Portnay?
De Mornay.
Oh, that's it.
De Portnay.
You were watching too much fucking Barstool.
De Portnay. David De Portnay. The game of love. Will Arya marry Gendry? The horsecock Gendry will he marry Miss Arya? Hot pants.
I say hell no, and I'll give reasons later.
Okay, wait, one no is in the books.
Let's say no.
No, 2 no's in the books.
Shit, I hate to do it, but fucking the no's have it. Definitely. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Why do you guys say no?
She's too laser focused right now, and I think that she's definitely gonna end up dying.
That's what I think.
Yep.
Because I think if she were to survive the whole thing and kill the people on her list, including Cersei and everybody else, that maybe she would. Because it's like, what else does she have to live for at that point?
Yep.
Do you think they'll Gendry die?
No, I think Gendry lives.
All right, good.
Yep. If we have the Wayne's World super happy ending, that's what's gonna happen.
I think that they need something that's gonna carry on the Baratheon family, and if he dies, that doesn't happen. So
right.
He needs to marry somebody and birth, some crazy tall muscly guys.
Right.
Yeah.
He's an eligible bachelor. He can fuck anything he wants at this point.
Yeah. Good. Call him up. You guys
That's my
Jets minus 1,000. The heavy favorite is a no. No, they will not get married. Yes is plus 600. So if you're feeling lucky, take your bets on the yes on that one, will you? Next we have Sansa Stark. Will she marry little Tyrion? Can you imagine that? Uppercase and lowercase, letter I or something there?
Definite no for me.
No?
I'm going to say yes, she sees his swollen purple mushroom.
Ooh. He's popping out. He's packing
That's a book
heat.
reference.
He's packing heat.
I'm gonna say no because, like I said, I just want fucking Tyrion to die at this point.
Why do you hate? Is it like a little people thing?
Yeah, I never liked midgets. Never been a fan.
Yeah? You never came up to see Bridget with us?
No, I did, and that's
Is that what happens?
well, Tyrion doesn't have a oddly shaped vagina.
She's got knees for elbows. She can't touch the back of her head. Sexy as fuck. All right, so we would have 1 yes and 2 no's on that one. No's are the favorite at minus 700. Big money. They sing, this is a love match that will not happen, Chuck. Sex, love, rock and roll. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Tune in next week.